My special guest today is Kellie Shevlin, the Executive Director of the Craft Beer Expo.
Craft Beverage Expo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Everybody does it.
Also, after too many craft beverages here.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about the Craft Beverage Expo.
We are a business and marketing conference for independent craft producers of beer, wine, cider, sake, mead, anybody that makes adult beverages. So we're actually getting into the low alc, no alc, but on the adult beverage side.
Wow.
So not really coffee or the tea, but what you're seeing now with the 1 or 2%.
Yeah, I've noticed a trend in that, having the zero alcohol with others. So like they call them like just craft spirits that are yeah.
There's a whole, I would say at Total Wine at Thanksgiving time, there's a whole shelf of zero alc tequila, vodka, and bourbon, which I actually don't understand, but I think it's great for people that want to imbibe and feel like they're part of the party and not necessarily have the ABV.
Somebody saw that there was a need there and created a whole other market. Yeah.
It's the fastest growing segment right now in the adult beverage category.
Wow. So, what I like to do here on this show is I like to speak to industry professionals, but not so much about all of the show stuff. What I like to know about them and kind of like your background story, how you got into this industry, because we know that this industry sucks you in and keeps you and grips you, has a good hold on you. So.
Well, everybody comes here from a different path, and it's funny. I came here from the Smithsonian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got here as an intern at the Smithsonian at the National Portrait Gallery. And I ended up in the press and parties and the public affairs office. And when the National Portrait Gallery shut down for major renovations, it shut down for 6 years, and I realized that I liked the events part of what I was doing. So when it shut down, I realized that I was too young to wait for the museum to open up, and I looked for a job in the events industry, and I kind of fell into trade shows.
Yeah. What was your first gig in the trade show world?
National Trade Productions, and I ended up kind of working on their transportation portfolio, and I did ITS America, APTA, American Public Transportation. I did their World Congress. So I traveled around. I did some international shows, and after that, I was completely hooked.
Yeah. And what was your roles and responsibilities early on?
Started in sales. I'm a salesperson through and through.
Okay.
I was the kid that sold calendars and magazines for my soccer teams and the candy bars. So yeah, I was the you want to buy a booth girl. But then I became a director of sales, and then I became a show director. And through that, I had an idea for a show. I left NTP and started working at the Metropolitan Cooking and Entertaining Show as the sales director, and watched Denise Medved sort of create her own shows. She came up with the Metropolitan Cooking and Entertaining Show and then launched it in 4 or 5 different cities. So I was in charge of all of that, sponsorships, sales. I had 5 or 6 salespeople underneath me, and I watched her build that, and I realized that it's not a mystery, it's not magic. And she had a formula. She had 4 questions to start a show, and I always just had that in the back of my head, and then I came up with the idea for craft beverage, and when I was able to answer the 4 questions with a yes, I jumped on board and I wrote a business plan.
I love that. And I love to hear that the startup story and how and was she one of your mentors?
I would say absolutely she was. Yeah, I mean, she was women-owned. She self-started. She created everything. She sold. She did it, and she did it all on her own.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you can get a mentor that sees something in you and wants to nurture your hunger for the industry and teaching you all the ropes, and so yeah, that's great.
Her best advice, she would always say, it's not a problem to make a mistake, just don't make that mistake again.
I like that.
Yeah.
I have to steal that.
Yeah, it's great.
So you obviously have a hustle and grit about you. You've gone through a bunch of different shows and then starting your own. I mean it takes a lot of courage, but also a lot of work.
Yeah.
So where does that hustle and grind come from you, from your background?
I mean, I am as a sales, I'm extremely competitive. I'm trying to think of the word. Put something in front of me and tell me I can't do it, and I'm going to do it. That's it. So the whole idea is, when I partnered with Vinny Polito on this, and he's been an amazing partner on Craft Beverage Expo. I just need to say I could not have done this without him. But he said, this is what you're going to need to do for the first 100 days. And I was like, got it. Because I really wanted to do this. Like, I knew that this was an idea that would work, it could work, but we needed to sell X number of booths. We needed to get X number of people registered. We needed to do all of this stuff before, we could fully commit to having a show in, San Jose and making this happen. So when I am extremely motivated when someone tells me you can't do it.
Yeah, and Vinny is a great partner, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do with SISO now.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, so how has it been in the industry for you as far as like the tools and skills that you've utilized working for shows and then with your own, and how has that impacted you as a leader?
Having 20 years in the industry, I would say that starting at NTP and working, it's meeting everybody, and it's being at places like Expo, and it's learning the tools and finding the vendors and finding the partners and that has probably been the biggest asset that I have, because I know now where to go if I need help. Like if I am really troubled on, right now we're launching a consumer event that we've never done, and I know that I can call someone up that does a consumer event and say, I don't know how to price this, I'm not sure what to do, how do you do that? And these are all relationships that I've made through the industry. I think I got a vendor last night at the Freeman party. And so that makes my events better just through relationships. And I would say that that's probably the number one thing that makes me a better leader and make my shows better is the relationships that I make. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what we are in the business of relationships.
Yeah,
for sure.
and that's all we do for when we set up events. We facilitate relationships.
Yeah, for sure. So what's something new and exciting that you're excited to get out of bed for? What is something coming up?
Well, we are in a very unique partnership with Pittsburgh. They're doing something that we've never done before. They've actually invested in our show. We're rebranding Craft Beverage Expo. It's going to be CBX. And what it is, it's now Craft Beverage Expo, Craft Beverage Experience. And then they're also doing citywide activations all over. They're hoping to have 5,000 people come in from all over to go to the restaurants, to go to bars, to go to breweries and distilleries. We're going to do a consumer event where we're hoping to have 1,000 people and 100 pourers on the Friday night. All of this year is sort of proof of concept, because what we're trying to do ultimately is create sort of a 5-day festival.
Yeah.
Proof of concept this year, what my vision is Tales of the Cocktail meets Great American Beer Festival, which is a giant consumer event at the convention center and events all over the city.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about that, and actually maybe I'll have to get out there.
It's March 29th, 30th, and 31st. So yeah, absolutely.
So where can people find information on that?
Craftbeverageexpo.com.
Okay.
So.
And where can people find information on you?
Craftbeverageexpo.com.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I'm up there. I mean, I'm very Googleable.
Okay. Yeah, LinkedIn. And
Yeah,
all that
LinkedIn.
stuff.
I'm on LinkedIn. I actually found out that you can only have 30,000 LinkedIn followers, so I hit that number.
Maxed it.
I maxed it out. So yes.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you, and I appreciate this, and I'm very excited to see what's next for Craft
Awesome.
Beverage Expo.
Thank you so much.